Hey guys, before I get into the video, I would like to note I had several issues with the audio syncing up to the video in this episode. I have tried to fix it where I can. There might be a few areas where it doesn't sync up perfectly, but I think in the most important parts, where I felt it was definitely necessary for it to sync up in that way, I have tried to make it so. Without further ado, let's get to the video. Greetings and salutations, my comrades and amigos. Pokemon Master Skywalker here with another medieval castle project video on the Minecraft MineLogic server. Today's focus is the castle, bakehouse and breweries, and if I have the time, we will also go over the kitchens. Okay, starting on the outside here, you can see two different styles of roof. One for the bakehouse on this side, which pretty much just slopes down from the center. And on this side is the breweries, which that word's pretty hard to wrap your tongue around. But this one is like a tiered design, which still slopes down, but it sort of slopes down in tiers. And I quite like this one. It's not exactly the aesthetic idea I was going for, but when I saw how it looked in the end, I decided I wouldn't change it and I'd keep it how it was, because it looks pretty good. Okay, that one thing to note is that this tiered design will actually not be visible whatsoever once I've created the Great Hall over here, but from within you will definitely know it exists. And it will be forever immortalized in the form of this video. And I just fell into the courtyard. Brilliant. If we come inside, if we can go inside, that is, you will see over here I actually have not created the back wall of these two rooms. That's because the back wall is the main outer castle wall. So I'll actually create that when it comes time for that to appear, for that to be done, which is probably going to be one of the last episodes I do. But that also exists in the brewery over there. You can kind of see it through the door, kind of. Anyway, this room is the bakehouse. And I was sort of lost for aesthetic design for this, because I figured, you know, Bakehouse, it's like pretty much just a bakery. They just bake bread, and that's about it. So I threw in a bunch of furnaces. There's not even any coal in any of them, because they don't serve any purpose. There's a nice stone bench top for the idea of rolling dough. Again, that's not actually going to happen. These chests have hay in them, or wheat. Yeah, they've got wheat. Which, that's pretty much the only way you do make bread, is that you just put 3 wheat together on a crafting table, and you make bread, and you don't even bake it or anything. This room, it's just thematical around the idea of baking bread, even if it doesn't actually function. But, you know, it is what it is. The next one, which I feel is far superior, is the brewery, which this is pretty much just where historically the alcohol was brewed and stored. So I figured in line with that, we'd give it sort of a basement cellar type design with the smooth stone floor. And to create the underground effect, there's a little cobble staircase and like a cobble base, which is the idea for what the base of the castle itself is like. So it just creates the idea of a basement without actually being under anything. I'm actually going to use this same aesthetic when it comes to the dungeons. I don't know exactly when or where I'll put the dungeons, but I'm going to use the same type of aesthetic for them. Now, in terms of functionality, this one, while aesthetically appearing like it historically would have, at least the way I think it probably would have, It functions more in similarity to what you'd see in a fantasy type story of a witch's hut where they brew potions and things. And so we've got cauldrons for bottles of water, we've got brewing stands, we've got chests. There's nothing in that chest, but in this one we've got lots of potions. So it functions for potions and stuff like that. The main reason I selected this room was because I really had nowhere else to put potions unless I had to make a specific potions room, which generally doesn't fit in. And I feel like in terms of general theme, I could sort of squeeze this in to kind of make sense. It's not perfect, but it kind of works, and I think definitely in terms of theme and idea, I really like it. So, yeah, I think I saw something over there, but there wasn't. Now let's see what time we're at. Yeah, I've probably got time to go over the kitchens. Something to note is that the entry of the bakehouse is on level ground, whereas over here, the kitchens actually go one block above, which you will see once we're actually in there why that is. Do note that the roof here, I didn't do anything special for the roof, it's just flat. But over here there's a nice overhang, which is going to be completely visible from the courtyard. And I think it adds just something nice that it actually exists and adds a bit of detail. Not the most intricate of things, but it does what it does. Now, before I actually do go ahead and enter, I'm going to go over the historical uses of castle kitchens. While they were used for cooking, the ingredients themselves were also kept in the kitchens, and that's not only storage, but also things like fish ponds, livestock, and crops. Essentially, a living kitchen. And I think that's really cool. And you can see in here, I've got crops, I have wheat, and I have beetroot. Then over here, the livestock is represented by chickens, and I actually had quite a lot of trouble getting these in here to stay. So I actually raised the floor by one block because they simply weren't staying in there. I eventually did put a fence in, but it was so difficult getting them to do what I wanted them to do. So that's why the floor is raised. On the right, we have crafting tables and furnaces. This is the main purpose for like cooking and crafting and things like that. We have storage in these two chests here. Over here we have a fishing pond, also infinite water source. Over here we have another stone bench mirroring that one. But right here, this is the area I am most proud of. We've pretty much got a cattle, a whole cattle is what that is meant to represent, and it's sort of roasting on a spit. That spit is represented by these tripwires, and there actually is a string there. It doesn't line up exactly, but I think in terms of theme, it actually works. And it just looks really cool. It's like a massive oven where you're roasting a whole cow. I am so proud of what I came up with here. You know, it's not that impressive in stature or size, but I think in terms of the aesthetic and thematic idea, I just think it really works. I believe that is everything I was hoping to cover for this video. So, as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I'll have another one up next week. Thanks for watching.